Welcome back. This is day 2 of 31 days. The month of March is TBI Awareness Month, and I'm running a 5K a day, and I'm providing you a tip that can help with TBI or bring awareness to TBI. In today's tip, we're going to talk about irritability. All the information I provide here is backed up with research that I've conducted and personal application that I've done as I've dealt with TBIs. Today's topic is irritability. 1 out of 3 people who suffer from TBIs tend to display symptoms of irritability. Research hasn't really shown exactly what is causing the irritability in the brain, but we can assume that it has to do with the sympathetic nervous system and the limbic system. Right here, this is one of my drawings of the brain, which I'll talk about that in another video about how drawing is a form of mindfulness that can help you deal with some of the impacts of TBIs. Irritability, we all get irritable, things frustrate us, things get us upset and cause us to react. When we're dealing with a TBI, things seem to make you more irritable. We do know when you allow that irritability to continue, and I say allow because it is a choice, we can stop that irritability, that what is happening is within the limbic system there, the amygdala has seen something as a threat and thinks it needs to act. And when you're irritable and the limbic system and the amygdala react and send signals in the sympathetic nervous system, that's going to cause a release of cortisol, which is going to cause more damage. And when you have a TBI, you already have inflammation in your brain, and you want to reduce as much inflammation as possible. And when you're irritable, that inflammation is going to increase. So how do you deal with irritability? The first step is you need to take a journal. You need to write down the variables around every situation when something makes you irate. It could be anything in the house. Stuff that typically would not make you irate is making you irate, and we need to identify those. You need to write down all those things. It could be a mess in the house, a kid screaming, kids making messes, people running stop signs in front of you, people leaving shopping carts. What is it that's making you irate? You need to write those down, and then you know what it is that's making you irritable. And then once you've identified those, you got to prepare yourself and have a plan in place to deal with that irritability. I'll give you an example. I was dealing with a TBI. One thing that seemed to always make me irate is I'd walk into the garage and the kids always love to leave stuff right in the doorway that I'd trip on, and that would make me upset. So I identified that as a trigger that would cause me to become irritable. And then I prepare myself. I know, hey, I'm about to walk in the garage. It's going to make me irritable. I'm not going to allow it to make me irritable because I know when I become irate about it, it's going to prolong the recovery from a TBI and it's going to cause more stress. So I prepare my mind for it and think of happy thoughts and joyful thoughts to prevent that irritability from occurring. And you can also, when you identify these triggers, you can ask yourself, is it justifiable that I'm getting irate? Should I get mad at my family? Should I get mad at this? It's really not bugging me or harming me, because you got to think when the amygdala is reacting, it's reacting because they think there's a threat that's going to actually hurt your body, and this creates the stress response. So you got to ask, is that really a threat? Is it even worth getting bothered about it? And I think the most important thing, if it's hard for you to say, well, it bugs me, I can't, it's just causing me to irate, just think about what it's doing with the sympathetic nervous system, the amygdala. It's turning on a release of cortisol, and it's adding more inflammation to the brain, and it's prolonging your TBI. So that is the tip for today, how to deal with irritability. Remember, start taking a journal, identify the triggers that are making you irritable, then put a plan in place, start to question those initial thoughts of, is it really valid that I'm irate? Prepare your mind and relax, and prepare to face that trigger that's going to make you irate. And then these will help you take control of that irritability, turning off that natural fight or flight response. Sure, irritability of the TBI is not impacting you.